Gary, when you look at the film of a 24-5 game, can you find any faults in that as a coach, or you just kind of say, all right, guys, let's move on?
You're just happy, I think, as a coach to see everything come together. First game of the year, listening to, the other coach, John Galloway, talk about, his expectations for his team, and, us, we're just working hard trying to figure it out and then put our best performance on the field, and to have our guys show up and execute at such a high level was awesome. So I was just extremely happy about it, and really hope we can string a few of those together.
How much do you credit that, just having all that experience in a lot of different positions?
That's part of it, and that's, people have asked me the question about, well, what's the difference from sophomore to juniors when, it's confidence. It's that ability to your freshman year, you're kind of everything's, what's going on, you're trying to figure it out. Sophomore year, you have kind of an idea, but by junior year, you feel like you're a leader and you're confident and you're helping the young guys, and you know what to expect. And, I thought my staff did a great job of putting a game plan together, and the players did a great job of doing their homework, and they pretty much executed everything that we planned for, and our guys were ready defensively, and to hold them to 2 goals for that long was amazing. And offensively, same thing, knowing how they're going to play defense, and they were able to find the shots and the opportunities and score at high rate.
Coach, what was that conversation like with Jimmy when you told him he'd be the starter, and how do you feel like he backed up your decision?
Oh, I think, he's obviously extremely happy to be a starter, and it's what he's been, waiting for and hoping for, and he got that opportunity, and he ended up 8-9 saves and having an outstanding game. So, I knew he could play like that. That's why, and Michael Ippoliti's, right there with him. And that's why, in the past I said I don't have a goalie issue at all, and I think you saw that, and you saw why, during that game.
In last 2 years with Jimmy working under Will Mark, what was their relationship like, and how much do you feel like he took from Mark's game heading into the season?
Well, I think he wanted to perform at that same level, and he did it. For most of the year, in practice he was as good as Will, and he demonstrated. That's why I was never stressed about the goalie position, because I watched him and Michael Ippoliti last year make it really tough on our own guys to score goals. So I felt pretty good about it. Now we can see if he can stay mentally focused and keep it going.
Coach, I felt like there was, especially in the first quarter, more of a concerted effort to get downhill in terms of your dodging rather than let Joey pick apart the defense from X. Is that an emphasis that you guys have been putting on this year, getting more downhill, especially with
So in the fall we didn't play our traditional style like we're playing right now. We played 5 attackmen and middies in sets of 2. And we used the offensive middies, the defensive middies, and they played in pairs, and they played both offense and defense, and we did that all fall. And the goal of that was to teach our defensive guys transition, how to push the ball and get better at that, and decision making and all of that on transition fast breaks, to try and get back to that style. And on the other end, to try and take away advantages in the sub game and transition. Our offensive guys, we worked on all learning the defense. So I think it all paid off in that first game.
One of the guys, obviously Finn, with his move to attack now full time. What went behind that decision to move to attack?
Well, I think everything's still fluid, and we thought that Finn had been playing very well, and they developed a lot of great chemistry, and we kind of prepare for everything. So, if the offense isn't going well, or they start short sticking the attack, then we may make adjustments, and we're prepared for that. So I honestly thought he played great, and he didn't try and do too much and let the game come to him, and I thought they all played well. It's hard to complain when you light it up like you did, and everything kind of goes your way. The test will come in the tougher games ahead.
How does his skill set play into I guess, being an attacker? Like what does this skill set present?
Well, we really focus on ball movement, pick and rolls, cuts. So it's not about just being able to carry the ball and dodge somebody. We really focus on trying to get the defense out of position, spin the ball, get them off balance, and get some opportunities that way. And he's very, he's a basketball player, and you can see that he plays, our offense kind of plays like a basketball. We're trying to spin the ball from one side to the other, get a look, spin it back the other way, and I think that plays into his strengths. He's very, very cerebral, understands the game, and moves the ball really well.
Kind of on those same lines, is Trey Deer a guy you can put into either position, and do you just kind of look at him as a lacrosse player as opposed to maybe putting a title on him as a
Exactly. And you look at their strengths and weaknesses, and we know what they're good at. And if someone decides to try and take away their strengths and change the game, we need to adapt to that and make changes. And we've certainly talked a lot about it. We practiced a lot of different things we could do to offset when teams do make adjustments. So we're trying to be prepared for everything.
Coach, obviously you don't want to look past Vermont, but with that Towson game, did you get a chance to see Towson and Johns Hopkins last night?
I saw a bit. Unfortunately, I was with my brother. He just had surgery, so I didn't get to watch it. I was talking to the doctor, but I'll watch it for sure. And I got all the highlights today. So, it was an interesting game. Towson really had a tough time clearing the ball, but they battled back and gave themselves a chance, and it was a good game. And, Hopkins coming off a very short turnaround and travel, so they got it done, and then we're going to have a short turnaround as well and have to try and get it done after playing Vermont.
Coach, Michael Grace played a big role in the defensive performance against Jacksonville. How seamless was that transition, throwing him right in on the starting D-line?
Well, I don't know if it was seamless. We had a bunch of guys, and they competed throughout the fall and into the preseason, and it just seemed like he was the best fit for that spot, and he executed very well. So for now, we got a starting D that I'm pretty comfortable with. Again, we haven't been tested yet, so we got to see how we react in pressure situations or when things aren't going our way as well. And we're ready to make adjustments, but right now we're happy with the job he did.
Two more questions. Coach, you mentioned the quick stretch coming up. How do you get the guys ready for 2 games in 2 days?
Well, obviously it's the old cliche, you focus on one game at a time. And so that's the first thing. As a staff, we prepare for the second game because you have to because of time, so that game plans are pretty much ready to go and everything's dialed in before we get there, so we can have a game plan and can be ready to play. But the guys just want to play, and I think they look at it as a great opportunity. They don't have to sit around 6-7 days to play another game. They only have to wait a couple, and they get the opportunity to go back out and play. And there's nothing more fun than playing a game.
Gary, what does concern you about Vermont?
I think it's just the fact they got something. They want to prove they're better than they were last year, and they want to try and improve on their last season. So I know they're going to come in gritty and looking to play better than they did in the past. And, we got to be dialed in and focused. So I like what they bring. They bring that kind of blue-collar work ethic, and they play physical, and it should be fun.